is now 3 in a row for the New York Rangers on this road trip. At Montreal, they win at 3-1, where they get an empty net goal, so really 2-1. Then they win at Toronto in overtime, 2-1. And they win at Nashville, 3-1, also with an overtime goal. An empty net goal. The good thing is that the Rangers are finding ways to win close, low-scoring games, which is something that we haven't really seen in recent years. I think you can attribute it a lot to Shesterkin. He has been absolutely fantastic to start the season, but they're definitely playing more of a winning hockey sort of brand. And it's nothing to really get nothing to get too far ahead of. But I felt like this Nashville game was definitely a step in the right direction, whereas in Toronto, I felt like Shesterkin absolutely won that game on his own for the Rangers. And this is definitely a much more well-balanced game throughout the lineup. And the Rangers just kept on chipping away, and they hit a lot of posts, crossbars, a lot of close opportunities, but they finally were able to get it done. And also what's, I think, of note is Lafreniere has now had game-winning goals against Montreal and against Nashville in a tie game in the third period. So he's showing that he is someone that can rise up in the clutch situations. And this is without Ryan Strome and Capo Caco. So you're finding that the bottom six, it's not like they're completely useless, but it's a bit of a struggle with the bottom six. They're not detriments, but they definitely are leaning hard on the top players as of right now. So it'll be nice to get those guys back. I think Caco's should be back soon. I think maybe Monday against Calgary. And then Strome, I'm not too sure. It seems as if he definitely tested positive for COVID, or we really have no idea when he'll be back. But he's been out now for a bit. But they're finding ways to step up. And I think that, we can say for sure that the power play has been an issue. I do not like what I've seen from the power play. There's definitely a lot they need to work on. And I think that they're going to need to get goal scoring from different sources. And I feel like so far it's been from the same people. And that's all well and good. The Rangers are definitely playing much more of a mistake-free hockey. They're taking less chances, but they're still getting on-man rushes. And I definitely like what I'm seeing, again, just as far as if the score is, I would say that when it was a low-scoring game in recent years, the Rangers usually wouldn't win those games. But now they've essentially won 3 straight 2-1 games. And there's something to be said for that, all on the road too. So I think that that's a reason to be optimistic about where this can go. It's nice to be off to a 3-1-1 start where the Rangers, and really a lot of, like, for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe even beyond that, have really gotten off to slow starts. So this is good, and they're going to really want to continue that at Ottawa. I mean, if they could somehow finish off this road trip with 4 out of 4, and I mean, that would be really, really big for this team who, has a new head coach in Gerard Gallant, a lot of different faces. I think the new faces it's been mixed results for me. Barclay Goodrow, let's just start with him. He ends up getting an empty net goal in this game. I have not liked what I've seen from him, and I just feel like that 6-year contract is definitely going to prove to be one that they're going to regret. At times, he's made very sound defensive plays. He wasn't brought in to be a goal scorer, but still, I've not been happy with what I've seen from him. Maybe this empty net goal, his first goal as a Ranger, can get him going. Sammy Blais, he needed a little bit too many penalties, but that's just the style of play. Sammy Blais is someone that you can tell there's a bit of untapped potential with him, where with the St. Louis Blues, he was a bottom 6 player. He's been getting chances. In this game against Nashville, he was on the second line with Filipino and Alexis Lafreniere, and Blais had 2 assists. And one of them was a really nice assist, as a matter of fact. But both were primary assists, too. So Blais is someone who is kind of intriguing. With the Buchnevich trade, I still have my reservations. I mean, but you got a second-round pick, and maybe Sammy Blais, maybe they did see something there. Maybe that was something that Ranger fans kind of underestimated. I think people look more at the second-round pick, and Blais is kind of like, whatever. But maybe he can be something. Patrick Nemeth, it's getting better with Patrick Nemeth. I feel like, with Nils Lundqvist, I haven't really been overly impressed with him, but it's a rookie defenseman, so you're going to expect struggles. And I guess Lundqvist is slowly improving, but I thought Nemeth in this Nashville game did a good job. And you could tell he is kind of getting top 4 minutes because he's like a main penalty kill guy. And it seems like he gets a lot of those key minutes over Keandre Miller, where they'll use Nemeth with Trouba. That's the penalty kill pair. And it seems like even late in games, Nemeth is getting major minutes. So it's nice that I guess they signed him to a 3-year contract. But it seems like he will be a pretty key piece on the defensive side. Dryden Hunt is someone who clearly drew a gauntlet likes, and I like what I've seen from him. I don't think that he will necessarily be someone that sticks in the lineup every single game, but I get it. And really, the Rangers, it's been a lot of the more upper echelon players have been playing pretty well. And Adam Fox, again, you can't say enough about him. He is just so fucking good. It is really fun to watch, and it's this sky's the limit for him. It really is. But Shesterkin, I think more than anyone, he has been the key this season. Georgiev struggled against Washington. Rangers lose. Shesterkin, so out against Dallas, I felt like he could have done better. But then the next 3 games, just fantastic. And I think expect to see him at Ottawa. I don't see why you wouldn't. With the way he's playing, it'd be foolish to have Georgiev play. But as far as this game goes, the second line tonight, like I said, was Philip Hedl centering Lafreniere and Blais, and they score right away. It would be a Hedl goal at 2:12 from Blais and Lafreniere. And Hedl had scored at Nashville. I was actually in attendance for this game. The last time the Rangers played at Nashville, which was in 2019, Philip Hedl also scored a nice goal to make it 1-0. So it gave me flashbacks to that. Hedl scores here, gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead. The Rangers would take a penalty. Sammy Blais took 2 penalties in this one. He also drew one as well. So he's just going to be one of those guys where he needs to just tone it down a bit, though. He's definitely taking a lot of penalties. That's part of his game, and I think he'll be useful, but he just needs to – he can't go above that line. But the Rangers would kill it off, and the penalty kill has been good. I think the Rangers, in general, they need to improve of getting the puck out of the zone. It's been a struggle, and they're lucky that it hasn't come back to hurt them more, but they have really had a hard time just getting that puck past that blue line. They're going to need to get better there. But the Rangers would get a power play at the end of the period. Kevin Rooney draws a slashing penalty. Rangers would not score as that was split between the first and second period. They would then get another power play right after that as Sammy Blais is elbowed by Matt Benning. Right, that was after Alexis Lafreniere was hooked at the end of the other power play. So there was a string of power plays, including a lengthy 5-on-3 that the Rangers did not convert. That's a bad job, and the Ranger power play needs to be better. The personnel is good. I know that there's some injuries, but that's no excuse. This power play has been one of the bigger disappointments in the first 5 games, no question. So they didn't score at all there. And then they would even get another power play at 13:53. Nils Lundqvist was cross-checked in front of the net. They're calling a lot of cross-checks this season. They don't score. And then Sammy Blais takes another penalty. It's an interference call on Blais, second penalty of the game, but the Rangers kill it off. So it's tie going into the third. And I thought the Rangers played a pretty good first, not such a good second, but in the third, they did a really good job, I felt like. And in the third, Barclay Goodrow would take a roughing penalty, a bit of a weak call, but he's not doing himself any favors by taking a penalty like that. The Rangers were able, it was a good kill. They killed it off. And it was really a very defensively sound third period by the Rangers, where Shesterkin wasn't really all that tested. And the Rangers, we thought, took the lead on a Ryan Lindgren goal about, I guess, must have been 5 minutes or so into the period, but it was ruled that Artemi Panarin was offside. So that was a bit of a gut punch. Rangers think that they have the lead. They don't, but they kept on chipping away. And like I said, a lot of posts, a lot of crossbars, but they stuck with it. And eventually, Adam Fox takes the puck into the zone, makes a nice pass to Sammy Blais, who makes a really nice pass to Alexis Lafreniere, and that would prove to be the game-winning goal. So Lafreniere, 2 goals, 2 game winners. Fox, a big reason for that goal. Sammy Blais contributing offensively. And the Rangers would really do a good job the rest of the way. And eventually, Barclay Goodrow would get an empty net goal with about 5-6 seconds left in the game. So very similar to when Kevin Rooney scored against Montreal. The Rangers are winning low-scoring games, close, low-scoring games. That's good to see. That's a good sign because, like I said, if it was low-scoring, they would lose a lot of these games 2-1. I don't know. Maybe it's just the mix of players that they have. Maybe it's Gallant behind the bench. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Shesterkin playing really out of his mind. But the Rangers win again on the road, 3 wins in a row, 4 games in a row, which they've gotten at least 1 point, dating back to that Dallas home game. And now, like I said, hopefully they go back to Canada and play Ottawa, a team that is coming off a loss, but is a young team that I don't think you should take lightly. They are not the joke that they were a couple of years ago. I think it should be definitely the Rangers should make it a point to finish off this road trip 4-0. I think that would speak volumes and really get yourself off on a good footing and get that confidence rolling. But again, Rangers do a good job, win another close game, and Shesterkin, Fox, Lafreniere, all those guys continue to play really good hockey through the first 5 games of the season.